From the campus of the University of Nebraska at Omaha, consider this with Kathy Wyatt, a program of issues and information behind today's news.
My priorities are all based on what your priorities are. First, public safety. Second, lower taxes, controlling the city budget. Third, economic development.
I will listen to them, I will address those issues, and I will get things done for the people of this community because that's who I work for. That's who I worked for 43 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Wyatt. Welcome to the 28th season and this week's edition of Consider This. Our topic, Omaha's mayoral candidates. We are honored to have both the incumbent, Jean Stothert, and her opponent, Douglas County Treasurer John Ewing Jr. here today. Before we begin, I want to let viewers know that this isn't a debate, rather an opportunity to learn more about the candidates, the role of a mayor, the city, and how what is being said and done here could impact the rest of the state. Thank you both so much for being here and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us today.
You bet. Jean, I want to start with you. How would a Jean Stothert introduction sound without the mention of politics?
Great question. And first of all, I would say the most important is I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. And I'm very proud of all of that. And the other thing is I am an Omahan. I have lived here for 32 years. Not my whole life, but the advantage I have is I have lived in 5 different states and I know what we have here. I came here by choice. And people that talk about Omaha or say they'd like to go somewhere else, they don't know how good we have it here. And I think that that's really, really important. My career started as a critical care nurse. And I worked in St. Louis University. I picked the St. Louis University when I graduated from nursing school because I wanted to be where all the action was. And all the skills that I learned as a critical care nurse, and I became a head nurse in cardiovascular surgery, I use today. I learned a lot about critical thinking, about making informed judgments and decisions, about collaborating and working with people, making very hard decisions and sticking with them. And those are the things I learned as a critical care nurse that, like I said, I use today. Now, my political career started, if you can believe it, 27 years ago. And when it started with just a simple desire to get involved in my kids' school. And we had been living in Texas. We moved up here for my husband's career and his job. And I just got involved in the kids' school, Millard School District. PTO, that's kind of how it started. That was 27 years ago. Then I decided to run for the Millard School Board. I ran for the school board and I finished 3 terms on the Millard School Board. The last 3 years I was president. Then I felt something else was calling my name and I ran for Omaha City Council, District 5, and I was elected to District 5. And then, halfway through that, I decided I wanted to run for mayor. And so I am the 51st mayor of Omaha. I am the first woman that's ever been elected. And I'm very proud of all of the things that I have done, during my career. But I tell you, I still feel like if I wanted to, I could go back and be a critical care nurse today because I really love that time of my life. So that's just kind of about what I am and what I'm about. I love being here in Omaha. I love being a grandma. And those are things that I just really enjoy, is being here in this community.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Okay, John Ewing Jr., what would your introduction sound like?
Sure. My introduction would tell you that I've been married almost 41 years to my wonderful wife, Dr. Viv Ewing. I am the proud father of 2 beautiful young women who are doing great things in this community. I'm a grandpa, which is the greatest thing ever. I think people tell you how great it is and you say, yeah, right, until it happens. And then it is absolutely amazing. I would say also that people would say that I am a person who cares about people. I'm a public servant. I've been serving this community for a little bit over 43 years now. And I loved my time with the Omaha Police Department. I like to tell people I served there for 24 years, 9 months, 1 day, and 7 minutes, not that I was counting, and that I'd probably do it again. I retired from there as a deputy chief, and that was great because it allowed you to be able to help shape policing in Omaha. And I was very proud to be part of the Empowerment Network and the co-chair of the Crime Prevention Covenant, because one of the things I had seen far too often was young men being killed in our city and then having to go and talk to their families after that happened. And so the Crime Prevention Covenant gave me an opportunity to look at ways to try and reduce the number of young men who were dying, and also then young men who were going to prison, and then the impact on families in our community. And with a lot of work with the police department, the community, and others, we've actually been able to reduce gun violence by 70% in our city. And with that, then we've been able to partner with other cities across the country and help them begin to look at how they are going to implement some of the things we've done. We've also been named one of 4 model communities by President Barack Obama's foundation because of that reduction in violence. And so I'm really proud of that. Certainly I'm proud of all of the community service I've been able to do in this community. I've served on about 70 different community boards, including places like Habitat for Humanity, Sienna Francis House, the Empowerment Network, Charles Drew Health Center, things that really impact the quality of people's lives. That's what I like to do, because then I can help make this city a little bit better for all of the people here, because this is the city I was born in, this is the city I was raised in, this is the city I got married in, this is the city and the university I'm sitting in right now that I went to school in. So I'm an Omaha guy. I love this city, and I believe we are an incredible city, and I believe we have a chance to be even greater, and that's why I'm running for mayor. I also love my time as Douglas County Treasurer. The reason I like that is because it gives you the opportunity to look at customer service in the government arena. Far too often, we neglect that part of government where we don't really look at the level and the quality of service that we're providing. And the first 5 years I was there, we actually surveyed the citizens quite frequently about the services we were providing to make sure they knew what we were doing with the technology, with the online things, with the telephone things, but then also making sure they had a great experience from the moment they drove into our parking lot. To me, that's critical. And we even changed how we called our offices from branches to customer service centers, because we wanted to implant that in the minds of our employees as well as the people of the community, because we were competing to be the best customer service business we could be. And we've actually won national awards for our customer service from the National Association of County Officials, and we're extremely proud of that, because it takes hard work to do that consistently. And so that's what we do, is we provide customer service. We're not government as usual. And so I'm really proud of those things.
Thank you. All right, Jean, you are seeking a historic 4th term, and we're going to talk about the why in a minute. But briefly tell us, what is a mayor and what does a mayor do?
Sure. And you know, the mayor is the chief executive officer of the city. It's just like being a chief executive officer of any big company. You know, the mayor is basically in charge of all things that happen. You know, I have been doing that for the last 12 years as mayor. I'm in charge of the budget. I develop and I manage the budget. And the city's budget right now, the all-fund budget, is $1.6 billion. And I develop it and I manage it. I control and take care of an entire workforce. We have about 3,600 employees at the City of Omaha that I am responsible for. What we have in the City of Omaha, our authority, is defined by the city charter. The city charter was passed by a vote of the people back in about 1958, and any changes to the charter have to go back to a vote of the people. We have in the City of Omaha what they call a strong mayor city council form of government. I don't go to council meetings, I don't vote, but there is an executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch, just like all forms of government. The mayor is the executive branch. And in Omaha, you're a one-trick pony. You don't have a city manager. You are, as the mayor, the executive branch. Then the city council are the legislators. And then over in the courthouse, the judges is the judicial branch. And so you are in charge of the entire city, and all responsibility eventually comes back to you. The one thing that I said in the very beginning is I don't know how to run a public works department or a planning department or a law department, but my job is to hire the best directors I possibly can, have a good working relationship with them, and then let them run their department. But I have always told my directors at the end of the day, I will take responsibility for the city. I'm the mayor, I'm the responsible one. I have never, in issues that we have had, and a lot of issues have happened over the past 12 years, I've never tried to say, well, that's my public works director's fault or that's my police chief's fault. I will say, I'm the mayor, I will take responsibility for the entire city. And that's what I do. And so I think that working relationship with the directors that we have, hiring the best people, that is how the city has done so well and this momentum has been so great. But the mayor, at the end of the day, is the ultimate authority to help run City Hall and run city government. When I became mayor too, I said I had 4 main goals, and they're still my goals that I developed back in 2013. Number 1 is public safety. The mayor decides what the goals are. It's public safety is number 1. Number 2 is running this or managing the city budget, keeping taxes as low as we can. Number 3 is economic development and jobs. And number 4 is what I call improving the taxpayer experience. And that's what I want. First of all, anybody that deals with the city of Omaha, I want them to have a good experience, whether it's fire department, police department, law department, planning department, whatever. And I think that that's important. But then the other thing is improving city services to make people's lives in Omaha better. So since I've been mayor, we negotiated new, for instance, state-of-the-art trash collection contract. It was approved in 2020. It's a 10-year contract with 2 5-year extensions. That took a lot of time and a lot of effort. But now we have a new state-of-the-art trash collection system within the city of Omaha. Done a lot to improve our roads, for example, in Omaha. Got a $200 million bond issue passed in May of 2020 to rehabilitate our roads in Omaha. And these were my initiatives. These were things that I thought about for years. I did a lot of investigating, a lot of study about it, and we felt like the best way to rehabilitate our roads so we would not get into this system that we did decades before I was mayor, that we've neglected our roads, and we passed a $200 million road bond issue. Since then, those bonds have been reissued once, or reauthorized once, and we have completed over 1,000 lane miles of road in Omaha. And we've had an additional $400 million to spend on our roads. So these are things that the mayor is responsible for, takes a lot of thought, effort, collaborating, working, say, with Public Works, with the law department, and then coming up with a vision and a plan, and then executing that plan. It's really easy to complain. It's really hard to get things done. And I think that we have shown in the past 12 years since I have been the chief executive of the city that we have great momentum and we're getting a lot done.
Thank you. John, I do want to ask you, because we are more than halfway through the program now, I do want to get into the whole why. You've had 43 years of public service, as you mentioned earlier. Why now? Why this office for you?
Sure. For me, it's because I believe that the city of Omaha is a very good city, but we can be great. And there are some things that I would like to do to help us be great, because this is my city that I grew up in. As I said, this is the city that I've chosen to stay in, and I just believe I have something to contribute based on my 43 years of experience that will help elevate the city of Omaha.
Okay, thank you. And we're talking about the city of Omaha. Now, Gene, I'm going to ask you to briefly introduce our viewers, especially for those people who've never been here. Well, what is Omaha?
First of all, I will say Omaha is great now. Forbes last year in 2024 named Omaha, Nebraska as the #1 city in the entire country to move to. We got 100 points out of 100 points. Recently, U.S. World and News Report ranked Omaha as having the hottest housing market in the country, and we have one of the strongest growing economies in the country. So those are all great things about the city of Omaha already. Sure, we can always strive to be better, and we always are. But Omaha is a big city, and big cities do big things. We are the 39th largest city in the country right now. We are not a small city anymore, and we continue to grow. The city of Omaha continues to grow. You know, you look at other cities within our region, say Des Moines, they are not growing. The Des Moines Metro's growing, but not Des Moines. The city of Omaha continues to grow. And that's what I think is so great about it. We are bringing more people into Omaha. Our unemployment rate since I've been mayor dropped from 4% to 2%. We have a 2% unemployment rate. So we are always trying to get more people to come into Omaha because we want more businesses to come in Omaha too. And that's why it's such an attractive city.
So this is a great segue to you, John, because we talk about the greater Omaha area. And for anybody watching, we now can tout we live in a place with 1 million people, which is pretty cool. But it's that word greater, right? Explain that a little bit for people who don't know.
First, most people don't realize that Douglas County is actually where the city of Omaha is, and is bigger than the city of Omaha because of the unincorporated areas that surround the city of Omaha. Then we have other metropolitan areas around Omaha, such as Washington County, Pottawatomie County, Sarpy County, Cass County, and Mills County. So we have 7 counties that comprise the metro area. And then you add all of those together, and that's how we get over the 1 million people. But that's a great accomplishment for this area and an opportunity to do even greater things when it comes to economic development, and when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to our economic power and the ability to attract large companies here, retain large companies, as well as attract people to this area so that we can have the best and brightest coming here to fill some of those high-paying jobs that we want to create. So I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's a nice thing to be able to say we're over 1 million people. We have the people. We have the infrastructure. Come to Omaha and be part of something great.
Okay, thank you, Gene. You have mentioned a number of times public safety is #1 for you, right?
Absolutely.
So, been in office for 12 years. What more needs to be done there?
You know, we need to continue the trend that we have right now. Public safety is my #1 responsibility as the mayor, is to keep citizens of Omaha safe. And I think that's really important. And the city budget is the mayor's budget. The mayor creates it, gets it approved by the city council, but 2/3 of our general fund budget goes to our fire department and our police department. So it definitely is a priority. You know, when people come from out of town, and especially during the College World Series is when I get to interview more people from out of town, because sometimes they've never been here before. But I ask them, what do you think about Omaha? And they will always say 2 things. They will say, it's so clean here and I feel so safe here. And I feel like if any mayor could have a clean, safe city, you've hit a home run. Yeah. And so public safety is #1, but we really do keep track of all of our crime indexes. And to give an example, last year in 2024, we had a 21% reduction in violent crime, a 17% reduction in all crimes, the 7 indexes that we report that are vetted by the FBI. And we had the lowest homicide rate in over 30 years. I mean, that is an indication of a good, safe city. And we did have last year at one time over 30 cities that were calling Omaha Police Department, calling my office, saying, what is your trick? What are you doing in Omaha to keep the city as safe as it is? And they are copying a lot of the things we are doing. The chief of police, Todd Schmatter, really believes in community policing. He is like the epitome of community policing, always out in the community, making himself well known, making the community know that their input is very important, and also they are part of the solution. And so I think that public safety, it really shows good policing. For the mayor, it's giving the police the budget that they need and the number of police officers they need, and the results are there.
Okay, thank you. And John, with 24 years,
9 months, 1 day, and 7 minutes.
Okay, pardon me. How would you respond to what Mayor Stothert has just said?
Well, one of the things I'll tell you, Kathy, is when those people are having conference calls with the Empowerment Network and things like that, I'm usually on those calls because I was the one that helped start the ball rolling and took that chance in my career, not knowing what my career was going to be in the future. I looked at an opportunity to help improve the Omaha Police Department and its relationship with the community and also reduce violence in our community. I took that chance and helped get all of that started. So when those calls are being made, I'm usually on those calls. When we're going to visit Tulsa or Kansas City or some of the other cities, I'm actually going in on those visits to help them from a number of perspectives. One is the policing side of it, but then the other part of it is the administrative side of how do you run an empowerment network. I was the original board chair for approximately 8 years, and I've been on the board as either chair or vice chair of the board since its inception, so almost 17 years or so as a board member for the Empowerment Network. So I've been involved intimately in all of those things. I certainly believe the Omaha Police Department has done a great job of taking the ball and running with it, which is what you always hope for when you're part of an organization and you retire. Then you hope that things will continue to get better after you've left. The other thing I would say is that we are approximately 130 officers short with the Omaha Police Department. And I just read an article from 2023 that was talking about the stress on the officers of the Omaha Police Department. That stress certainly hasn't gotten better over the last couple of years, and we've got to do a better job of staffing the Omaha Police Department. And then we've also got to find creative ways to help them right now today. And one of the ways I've talked about is looking at a cadet program where you bring young people in to help with non-emergency services like accident investigation, report writing, and things of that nature, which I suggested when I was still on the police department many years ago, because then that also gives you a ready recruiting tool. So I think we can do much better with staffing and take some pressure off of the men and women of the Omaha Police Department.
Okay, thank you. I am looking at our time cues, and there is a question that I absolutely want to make sure that we address here. If I were to give each of you 60 seconds, right? We are a statewide television program, so we're talking to folks across the state. If I were to give each of you 60 seconds, what would you say to those viewers in terms of what we're doing here in Omaha and how it can impact people across the state? So 60 seconds. John, if you want to talk to our viewers now, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. The Omaha, Nebraska is a big part of the economic engine for this state. And so one of the things that's critical for this entire state is for Omaha to have a strong, vibrant economy that contributes to the tax base of this state, that also attracts some of our young people to Omaha that are leaving their communities so they stay in Nebraska, and we keep the best and brightest young people here. I think that's critically important. I think Omaha also has to ensure that they are a great partner with the rest of the state, because we're all in this together. And one of the things I want to do as mayor is to increase the collaboration between Omaha and other parts of the state and state government so that we can continue to be a vibrant state, and we can continue to do great things.
Okay. Thank you. That was very good, John. I think that was, according to our floor director, that was spot on. All right, Jean, what about you?
Omaha is the economic driver of the state of Nebraska. And I think that's important that everybody understands that, because there's more population here, there's more sales tax that comes out of Omaha, there's more jobs in Omaha than any other city in the state of Nebraska. My important role, and I've done that for 12 years now, is though to keep a really good relationship with all of the mayors and all the city managers throughout the state of Nebraska, because we have common issues, and especially working with our legislature. There is an organization, the League of Municipalities, that I belong to, and all the mayors, city managers in the state do, and we are constantly in contact with each other, with our state legislators, and with our governor during the session. In fact, we just had a call the other day, because when things are happening in Lincoln, I want to make sure that especially our city legislators and our governor, and I have a really good relationship with all of them, understand the impact it makes on Omaha, Nebraska. And so we keep in a really good continuous contact with what's going on in Lincoln, good relationships with our legislators, good relationships with other mayors. The mayor of Lincoln and I, we're different politically as night and day. We're very good friends, and we talk all the time, because we feel like if we can join the largest city and the second largest city in Nebraska on legislative issues, we can get things done.
Awesome. I am talking with Omaha mayoral candidates Jean Stothert and John Ewing Jr. This has just been a wonderful discussion. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Folks wanting more information, I will tell you the general elections are May 13th. These are their websites and their phone numbers. So I would encourage you, if you want to learn more about them, to go ahead and tap into either the website or the phone number that you see there. In the meantime, I would like to sincerely thank the two of you for being here.
Thank you. You bet. Thanks
and
for
wish
having
you
us.
both the very best moving forward.
Yeah,
You betcha.
appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet. And our students who are working so hard behind the scenes, and of course, to all of you for watching. As we close, a look at scenes from stores in the old market as seen through the lens of Elise Gaines, a junior here at UNO. We will see you next week.
Consider This is an issues and information program produced by UNO Television in the School of Communication. More information and program archives can be found at nebraskapublicmedia.org/considerthis. If you'd like to share your comments about this program, call the UNO School of Communication at 402-554-2600 during regular business hours, or send an email to consider.this@unomaha.edu.